Today, I have a card that I have seen for years and I've loved it. Let me grab it. So actually, this is not it, the one we're making today, but this is one that I made for my great-grandson whose birthday was last week. And it still hasn't gone in the mail yet. See how bad I am? It's going in the mail this week for sure. But I figured he'd have so many fun things last week that he really didn't need mail from Grandma last week, and he'll be twice as excited to get it this week. This was made last year with a stamp set that came out during this celebration or during the spring catalog, and I loved it. But the card was a challenge because it's kind of a guessing game when you're doing it. The videos I've watched have said, you know, fold it this way and to make this center pop-up part. And it doesn't work for me. I can't do fold it this way. I have to do it. I have to have those measurements. I have to. And there are score lines on here. There's a score line going right down through the middle here and one going up through the middle here. Which this one's hidden by that, but this one is not hidden. And why do those score lines need to be there? So I started playing with it and redesigned how to make this card. So we are going to use Snailed It, and I have some more cards, another card to show you at the end. So stay tuned and watch all the way through, and we'll get going. Let's get going. I'm going to turn you down so you can see my desktop. So close your eyes if it makes you dizzy, because you're coming down. And let me just flip it around. And there we go. We had to move things around today because we were getting some yucky lighting. So I think everything got moved, including my desktop. There. Okay. Hands are in. Hands are too far. Okay, let's go a little further in. Sorry, guys. Just so that you're set, and try to make it a little more even. Even my desk feels crooked. I don't know. My desk is actually crooked, so. Okay, let's get started. So this is my host code for this month. So if you place an order, if you do it through my website, it'll take you to the host code automatically. If you're placing an order, I appreciate your orders, and so be sure to use the host code. If you do order this week and use the host code, I will send you a package of the cute little resin hearts that we're going to use today. Okay, so the resin hearts. Let me grab those. Had them out here and put them away. I was cleaning up. So they're these resin hearts. So if you place an order with me this week, I will send you a packet of those, a $50 order minimum. And you'll get a free a free celebration item. Celebration is going to be over the end of February. This is going to be it until July, I believe. We're going to do celebration again in July. So make sure that you get all the celebration things that you want. They're going to go quick. So Snailed It is this stamp set right here. And it comes with a set of dies. The bundle does, of course. And it also has this paper that coordinates with it. So you can see in the background here that this is one side of the paper. And the other side looks like this. How do I want to do that? There's 4 of them, 5, and number 6 has the, these last two have, this has mushrooms and this has snails. And I believe the die cuts these snails out, these here. One of the dies does. And the other die, I think, cuts out this little guy here. So this is the paper. And so today we're going to be using this one. So my card is right here. So this is the card that I made. And I don't make congratulations cards. It made me realize I don't usually make a congratulations card. So now I have the challenge of finding someone to send this to, someone who's done something wonderful. It doesn't have to be amazingly spectacular. It just has to be something fun. So when I made this, and I did it, and it opens up, and it says you snailed it here on the end. So my son asked me, does that mean it took them a long time? And I said, no, it means that they were slow and steady as they went. They were consistent. They were, it may have taken them longer, but it's okay. They got there. And so, but that's not what I meant at all when I stamped it. But slow and steady is good. I've been doing this for over 15 years. It's been slow and steady. I have not hit the $1 million mark or anywhere near the $1 million mark in sales, but I'm continually reaching for the next goal, slow and steady. So that's what it is. I'm moving. Let's get started on this. And you see, I don't have any score lines up here, and I don't have any score lines down here underneath this. So I am really excited to show you how I did that. I have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to score at 4 1/4. Let me grab my paper here so I can see, just to be sure. Okay, so it's 4 1/4. These are all fine. 5 1/2. And 6 3/4. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it, and at the 2 1/4 inch mark, I'm going to trim above and below. Let's get it straight. Okay, so I'm going to trim up to those score lines. So trim up here, and then I'm going to trim down here. Okay. And then at the 4 1/4, I'm going to do absolutely nothing. Yes. And then yes, I am. At 4 1/4, I'm going to score in this area between my score lines. So I'm just going to score right there because I need that center mark, but I don't need it all the way down. Okay, so now I've scored between the score lines. Now I'm going to go over to 6 1/4, and I am going to cut to the score lines in the middle. This really isn't hard. It's really simple once you get it down. I just haven't done it enough, evidently. Okay, now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim in instead of turning it and cutting it. So I just want to cut out these corner flaps. And I will put a template for this on my blog. Come on. Now I don't have the center score line in the middle, which is the one I wanted to avoid. But I have the score lines that I need. Okay, now we got it. Now we can move this away and make our 3/4 inch marks. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going 3/4 inches from this score line. So just like that. I don't know if it would be, I just guessed at the distance. Okay, so I don't know if an inch would make a difference. I wouldn't go a 1/2 inch, that's for sure. But maybe an inch would, I don't know if it would make it fold differently or anything. But somebody can try it and tell me. Okay, now I'm going to take my paper trimmer and get all my papers out of there. Those are good scraps. And I am going to score. So I'm going to line up those little marks that I made. So this mark here and the one that's opposite it and I'm going to put a dot on the center just because I want to make sure that that is in my path. And it is. And then I'm just going to score between those. This is the part that everybody always, it was like, well, fold it at the center, but don't, and I never could get it to fold quite right. So this was always my challenge. And my dot is in the center, so I should be good. And so now my lines have crossed in the center, and that's what I wanted. Okay, now we're going to fold this in half. Just like that. And it's going to be too long to go correctly into my card and leave the right amount of spacing at the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here and I'm going to cut off 1/8 of an inch, which is, this is a quarter, so 1/8 would be, wow. Okay, that's a quarter, and 1/8 is this line, the first line, this one right here. So I'm going to cut off 1/8 of an inch there. So if I just go by the back here, 3/8 would be right there. Okay. Cut. All right. Now that's ready. Okay. Okay. So then this is going to fold. I'm going to crease these lines. And you're probably going to want to erase these, although they may not show depending upon which way you put your card together. Okay. All right, now the next step to putting this card together is you're going to have a 4 1/4 by 11 inch card base that is scored at 5 1/2. And this is going to get folded so that it looks like a house. So these are going to go down and in, and this is going to go down and in. Okay, so you want it to look like looks like a house, a little house. Okay, and then you're going to want to burnish all of that really, really well. Make sure everything lines up before you start. Mine's off a little bit. Mine's off a lot a bit. Okay. One of mine is a little different. Okay, so you want to burnish that really well. One of mine is off because, and I think it's when I cut it in the cutter that I didn't cut it straight. So what I would do is after you have done your 11 inch lines, cut off 1/8 of an inch off of each end of your paper. Then you've got a nice even cut. See, mine didn't quite cut right when I put it in there. So cut off that 1/8 of an inch before. Okay, so you're going to make your little house here, and you're going to glue it to the inside of your card. So it's going to go right in here. You're going to leave a little bit of edge all the way around, just like that. So I'm going to put adhesive on the back of my house. I'm running out of glue. Okay, there it goes. Just needed some encouragement. Okay, and I'm going to glue that in here so that it's nice and even around the edges and it doesn't keep my card from closing. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I would like to just glue it shut like that, but I'm not so sure. It should line up perfectly. You should be able to close it and have it line up perfect. So I'm going to try it again. Okay. And I'm just going to close that. And it's fine. Perfect. Okay, now the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut a strip of, I did it of Bermuda Bay, and it's 11 inches by 2 3/4. And I'm going to score at 2 3/4. Five and a half, and 8 1/4. And those are just 2 3/4 inch sections, basically, is what they are. And then I'm going to fold that so that it's going which way? Doesn't matter. I'm going to fold this so it's going that way. Okay. Let's fold it in half. I'm making a mess of this poor little piece of paper. Cardstock. Okay, we've got it in half. Now I'm going to fold there, and I'm going to fold here. My house has been so quiet all day. I told the guys 3 o'clock I have a Facebook Live. Guess what? One's mowing the grass and the other one is upstairs pounding on the walls. It's okay. Okay, so now we're going to do the inside of this and get it all ready. So some of this I've already done in preparation for today. This little snail, I wanted to show you how I colored him. So I started with Granite Gray Light, and I just colored his little body here. I'm going to turn that over and do the other end because it'll go faster. I'm just going to color my whole little snail with Granite Gray Light. I want, not the whole thing, his whole body. I want to saturate him. So just get him all set here. And then I'm going to come back with the dark. And I'm just going to go around here. And a little bit under his eyes, and maybe a little under his mouth, and I don't know, a little bit here on the curve. And then I'll come back with the light, and I will blend that in. So it'll show as a shadow, but it won't show like real dominant. I'm going to go into that and pull it out. Okay, then I took my Granite Gray Light, and I went around this little snail shell, just around the edges, because I wanted them to be shadowed a little bit. So I colored around there. You guys probably am I off screen? No, I'm okay. Not bad. And then I came across here and just did the same thing all the way around in here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend that in. And so this kind of gives me another color. I'm going to use the Pool Party Dark. My Pool Party Dark looks like he's been at war. Let me grab a new one. You know, I just put a new one on my shelf today, so this one's better. Okay. So that'll kind of pull it so that it has some shading. And it makes it soft, but it gives me a little bit of a different color in that area. It just makes it a little more shaded. Gives a little depth. Okay, and then I'm going to leave the little stripes there white. And I am going to color his packages. This is Bermuda Bay Dark. And this is just coloring. There's no shading to this, just coloring. And I'm going to put the one on top. It's going to be real red. Poppy Parade. I want to draw a little bit of red into this. I love this color with red. So Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, and Pool Party all look great with red. Okay, so he is going to be in this one right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put him on. It's my glue. We're not going to do the front of the card until after we've done the inside, because it's real easy to put everything upside down. So we're going to do the inside first. Okay, then I have a little, these are 2.5 by, no, they're actually 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. And this one just says, "You snailed it." And I have some little hearts to put on this one. And they're still in the bag. Okay, so we'll put those on with glue dots. That'll pop them up just a little bit. So in here you want to be careful. You don't want too much raised, but you want a little bit. A little bit's fun, right? So you just want to make sure that you're not getting it any thicker than it already is. This card is a thick card. So, okay. Now, for this first one, I have a little snail. And this little snail, where's my stamp set? This little snail has a greeting with it. It says, "You've got mail." And I didn't want it to say, "You've got mail." So I die cut him out. The die cut does not cut out the greeting. So on this one, did I color him? I just colored the heart. Oops. Okay, and then I'm going to color him much like I did the large one. Oops, I started out with the dark. Wrong one. Okay, he's going to be darker. That's okay. He's going to be a dark snail. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this area a little darker, go over it again, and not go over the rest of him again. Okay, so now he has a little darkness to him. That will be fine. And then on him, I'm also going to do his little whoops with the light, granite gray light. Well, the pen is here, but it has no lids on it. That's not good. Okay, this one's going to be easy to do because it's got, I'm just going to color the whole thing. I always open the wrong ends first. Okay, so this little guy is just going to go on one of these squares, and I'm just going to give him, whoops, a little bit of ground so he doesn't look like he's up in the air. This little guy should have some too, because he looks like he's in the air, huh? So this little guy, we're going to do the same thing and put him on there. Now you could give him a greeting if you wanted, but I'm not going to. I think there's a hello in there that could be put on him. Okay, now We have one more, and that is the the envelope. The envelope, this side is shorter than this side. So this is the side that's going to stick up, the short side. The long side is the one that's going to fold. And it will fold in and meet the two sides. It's actually the bottom and the top. So I'm just going to put a little glue on here, just a tip. Press that down, a little glue there, and press this up. And then it all comes together right in the middle there. And I'm going to hang on to that for a minute. And then I stamped this. This is one of the images. It says Happy Mail Enclosed. I stamped that from the stamp set. And I'm going to use the rectangular postage punch for that. It's perfect for it. So punch that out. And I colored it with the Poppy Parade. And then I'm going to actually put a glue dot on this because I don't want it to slide out when it goes upside down or backwards or sideways, whichever way it goes. I think they all go sideways. And so I'm just going to put a glue dot on there. And then I'm going to attach it to my card. I just want to do this, oops, to this one first. I want to do this so that my little piece here doesn't stick up too far. I'm concerned that it will hit into the other. I don't know that it will, but I don't want to risk it. It actually probably won't because of where it's placed. But anyway, let's just put him on there. Okay. All right, now to put this on in the card, that is the challenge. So this doesn't lay down perfectly flat, guys, and I don't think it ever will again, and that's okay. So this is the area that we are going to, oops, this area on the left, that's where we're going to glue him. And I'm going to line up this fold line with the edge of this, which there would be a score line in here had I scored it. So I'm just going to line that up with the edge of there, and I'm only going to put glue on this bottom area. And it's not going to go all the way in, of course. So this is going to go, and I want to center it on the back as well. So it's kind of tricky. Okay. I want to center it from top to bottom, a little bit at least. And so it's going to go like right there. Okay, now comes the hard part. No. Okay, and then the other one, this one is going to get glued on the top, but it's going to get twisted around. So this comes in, and this one gets glued. You see what's happening? That's going there. So this is going to get glued on here, actually, is what's going to happen. So we're going to put adhesive on there, just this area out here. And this is going to get glued right, and I want to line it up again with that edge, right like that, and just push that down. Now let's test it to make sure. Yep, it's twisting, it's twisting, it's not twisting like it should be. There we go. It just needs, so when you first do it, it's going to need some encouragement. So after it's been open and closed a half a dozen times, it will start doing it on its own. And when you put something on the front, it makes it a little stronger on the front for it to push against, because it's actually coming down and pushing into that and sliding over. And that's what causes it to twist. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's do the rest of the inside here, since we have this open. And so in here, I just put a space there to just kind of decorate it. So I put, you could stamp something here on this one. If you're going to, I would do it before I glued it together, of course. And then here, it just needed something because it was so plain. And there. And then on the front, we're going to, so you're going to do the front last so that you know where your front is, because if you put this in upside down, you'll be unhappy that your front is upside down. So the front just consists of a piece of 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 Bermuda Bay. And then I have cut 2 pieces of Whisper White that are 3 by 3 1/2, and 2 pieces of the Snail Mail DSP that are 2 7/8 by 3 3/8, and I'm just going to glue those together. And same thing here. And your front can be decorated any way you want it. You could find any card on Pinterest and do this and decorate the front the same as the front of the card, and then just create the inside this way. So, I mean, you don't have to have a specific stamp set or a specific paper even to do this. I want to do one with the flowers from the True Love paper. I think that would be gorgeous. So I'm just going to leave it with a border around the edge, and then this one's going to overlap that one. Just like that. Okay, and then I've cut with these layering ovals, I've cut a scalloped oval and a Bermuda Bay oval, and I'm going to put those 2 together. And then I've also cut my snail from the stitched stitch shaped sties, and let's color him real quick here. And I'm just going to color him the same way I did the one on the inside. Just giving him a little bit of color here to saturate it. The nice thing about the Stampin' Blends is you can color every which way. Okay, and then I'm going to come back and do my dark. I think I'm getting too much vitamin B. My hands shake, and I think that's what it is. I've just started a new vitamin, and it has B in it, and I already take B for migraines, so I think I'm getting too much B. Okay, let's blend that together. Okay, and then I want to go around the inside of his, around there, and around here. I'm going to do both sides this time and see what that does to it. Okay, and then come in with my Pool Party Dark. Okay. Guys, don't forget to give me hearts or make comments, because those things help me to be able to stay on Facebook. And I just learned recently that I have to have 1,000 YouTube subscribers in order to be able to do YouTube lives. So make sure you go to my YouTube, share my my lives, and then that way I will get as much the subscribers that I need in order to be able to do YouTube lives. I cannot do them at this point. They won't allow me. You have to have 1,000 subscribers, so I have a long way to go. But I appreciate your help. Okay, so let's go add him to our circle here. And then I'm just going to attach him with dimensionals. Whoops, that one came off. And where did it go? That was interesting. Huh. Okay. I'll have to find it later. And let's get him right side up, and he just kind of goes in the middle here. And then I'm going to attach my congratulations, and this came from Happy Thoughts, which is one of the new stamp sets in the January through June 2021 catalog. And so I used this congratulations right here, and I stamped it and die cut it with the stitched rectangle dies. They have a ton of sizes in there, guys. So this is one of the real long and skinny ones. And so, and it was stamped in tuxedo black. So, whoops. All right. We'll put our little congratulations on here. Guys, notice there's no bow on this card. It's hard to believe, huh? Okay, and I love these little hearts. These little resin hearts, and that's what I'm giving away. So for a $50 order, you get a package of them for free. So I'm going to just put these up here, and that little guy I think has lost his sticky. And I'm going to put one here and one down here in the greeting. Let's turn that. It's upside down the way I picked it up. Okay, then this is going to get attached to the front of our card. Oops, that's the wrong card. How about this one? That one's already got a front. Okay, so it's going to get attached to the front of this card. I am going to use my Stampin' Seal for this, I think. Just want to make sure that it sticks really good. Now, I'm going to make sure I get it on here straight with all that glue on there, huh? The nice thing about it is the Stampin' Seal is a little bit graceful and does let you to adjust it a little bit. It's a really close call, so but there it is. It came out super cute. So my instructions are on stampwithdeb.com if you want to see them there. And it gives you all the measurements and everything for this cute card. And thank you for hanging in with me. Let me show you another one that I did. And that is, this is one I did with Hey Chick. And it's a happy birthday. Is that adorable? I think so. I think that one is so cute. It came out really great. Using all those chickens, because there are so many chickens. There's 8 chickens in that set. Maybe 9 that I can think of. So that one came out really cute as well.